Okay, and we're live. We are live. Um, Today I'm going to be painting a lamp. This is a commission, and somebody requested me at an art show recently, um, and so it is a 24 by 30 canvas, and this is my. If you can see it, make sure it's focused. This is my reference picture. I do have a color one, but I like to start painting on black and white um, because I get all of my values, and I know I'm gonna change a few things, and maybe I'm not gonna have. I'm debating whether to have these shadows so prominent. Um, so I may just completely get rid of it, get rid of the shadow, and just leave the ear in the shadow. Um, and so then all this background is going to be on gold leaf. That's why I'm doing this video. Hi Maxi, I'm doing this video in a two parts. I think color first is going, or maybe three parts. Maybe it'll be the underpainting, then it will be uh, color, and then I will do the gold leaf, or gold leaf and then color. Okay, let's get started. So I'm just gonna leave this here for now. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna sketch. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Maybe I can tape it here somewhere. Maybe I can tape it. I'm gonna tape my little lamp here. All right, just for my reference. And I am going to be using just raw umber today, or maybe Van Dyke Brown. I'm using this Van Dyke Brown uh, by Winsor Newton. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's too dark. Anyways, I'm gonna be using this and turpentine. And for a lot of people ask me about turpentine and why I use it on my underpaintings. And um, my canvas, the way that I prepare it, and I mix marble powder with my gesso, so that way it's very absorbent. See, if I put a little bit of turpentine here, it would absorb the pigment, and the turpentine will evaporate, and that will allow me to finish my underpainting and have it mostly dry by the time I start putting colors. So it will be just the Van Dyke Brown, and then I will do the highlights with titanium white for now. So let's get started with the and it's going to be and this is the same process I use when I'm painting plein air, um, which is which allows me to finish the painting, or not finish, but have a decent amount of painting done in one sitting. All right, so I'm just gonna think about dividing my canvas in three here, so it's like three, and I'll just plop the eye of the lamb right there. That's where the eye is gonna go, and then maybe mouth will be here, the other eye, top of the head, just the ear, the other ear, And the eye will go here. This is the body here. Something like that. So just gonna get the drawing first. And I like these filbert brushes. It's hard to see them. They are they're number two. I think they're number two. What are number this? Yeah, these are number two filbert, and they are great. They last for a long time, and the more I use them, the more that uh, they get a sharp tip on it. So um, I really like that. I can do I can do like lines with them, and also I can do like big like brush strokes like that, and just with one brush. I usually use two because I'm always painting with one dark color and one light color. Um, so let's see how good I can do this here. And I'm eyeballing this. I'm not using a grid or tracing. Um, I like to feel that it's more unique, has my own personal traits when I just eyeball things. May not be a exact photo copy of it, but it's my interpretation. So I think that's what counts. And that's that. And then the ear. So the ear will be right about here. Right, look at that. I can do that. Okay. There. All right. My dogs are walking back and forth. Here's the body. Um, I'm just looking at this distance here. So it's right about here too. It's almost like a straight line. All right, let's put the other ear. Turpentine has to me, has a very agreeable smell. The smell doesn't bother me. I do recommend that you work in a well ventilated area. I think it's the fumes can be a little bit strong, and I like its oily aspect too. I can really control the values with it, and the surface, the way the surface absorbs the paint. It feels almost like if I was doing like a Sumi E painting, where it's just like ink and water. Almost, it almost has that feel. Okay, let's move this guy. All right, so it's probably something around here. And here. So very strong light from the left. and then big shadow on the right. And if you notice in the picture, it's like most of it, most of this is all, I would say almost half of the picture is in shadow and the rest in light, but then I'll have gold leaf, so I need to compensate for the strength of the gold leaf. I may even be tempted to put gold leaf here and then paint. I've done that and paint the all the fur on with oils on top of the gold leaf. Uh, we'll see how this. We'll see how where this leads me. I think the face is a little bit bigger. So let's rectify this here. We'll say maybe the face is about here, almost. It's a lot bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. Let's see. There. Yep. Maybe the nose is here. Now the eye is a little bit off though. Maybe the eye is over here. Maybe the eye will be here. I know I could have traced this, but I just like to move things around. I think it gives it a lot more character. Could have traced or just used the green, but I do feel that sometimes it may take me longer. And this is good training for your eye too. You know, you want to train your eye to be able to discern proportion quickly. All right, maybe this goes here. Okay, so all right, let's continue moving. Let's do the big area now. Let's put this over here. And I'm gonna get the big brush. I want to show you my new, one of my new tools that I've added to my arsenal. Let me see if I can show it here. There, I can't lean it too much, or maybe like this. Okay. So this is one of the things that Rembrandt used to use, and this has linseed oil, and then I keep all my brushes here at an angle, so I don't have to be cleaning them all the time, and the tips don't get bent. Even if you look at these liners, look how well they are. They don't bend. And I use a couple of drops of clove oil. Now, my students, I usually tell them, be very careful with clove oil. Use a few drops, because if you get it on your oils and you put too much, then the paint will never dry. And it's happened to some of my students. And she had to bring it outside in the sun. And and leave it there, leave it drying in the sun. Luckily, here in Florida, our weather allow us to have to be able to do that outside, and so clove oil, use it with care. I'm gonna switch this brush for a bigger one. All right, so this one's a little bit bigger. So turpentine and let's just get the value. Okay, I'm just gonna get the value. How dark do I want this to be? You'll see that by the end of this session, this is going to be dry. Okay. Okay, here. Maybe if I squint, this is probably going to be a lot darker here. If you're gonna give me feedback. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Danny. Here's my son being a goof right now. I think you should walk the dogs. I think that's what I think you should do, buddy. Time for him to walk the dogs. Is their favorite time of the day? Okay. A little bit more terp. And I'm probably going to put this painting outside for a little bit after I do this, just so I can get the fumes out of the room. Okay, now I could use a bigger brush, but there's something about having all this texture going on, especially because the coat is going to be so texture. All right. Right, maybe this angle could change a little bit. But I know that I'm gonna come with gold leaf here, so I'm not worried too much about this edge. It's gonna be a fuzzy edge anyway. And when working with gold leaf, you kind of have to go back and forth between the painting and the leaf. So one covers the other. Okay. All right. So I think I could even go darker. I think I'm gonna push this even a little more. Yeah. Just add a little bit more paint. Transparent Van Dyke brown. Okay. I think all this area can be dark. And then we emphasize the light. All right. I need to get out of my safe zone right now. This is very safe for me. And get started into the details. Okay. There, I know that all this is going to be this is going to be my terminator, where the shadow meets the light. So emphasize this, make it darker. Then it sort of fades here. I may have all this more unfinished. This part, this area. Okay, so now let me work on this other area, which is the head. The top of the head is certainly not as dark, but it's still in shadow, so something like this. All right. I am, like I mentioned before, I'm probably not going to put the, I'm not gonna put the shadow. I'm so, I'm torn right now. I mean, I should, or I mean, it looks strange to me how it cuts right above the eye, so I kind of like to see the clean face. All right, and here's the nose. I can still work here with this surface. See how I can remove and all right, all the kids are here. Gabriel was playing soccer, practicing. He's got a session. Maxie, come here. Hi, I have a little Shih Tzu, and he thinks that he's one of the kids. So, all right. Danny, why don't you take Max outside? Okay. All right. Here's the mouth. And here's where we give him a little smile. Yes, because why not? Why are we gonna make an angry lamb? We have to make him angry. Right? He looks pretty happy. He's an angry. He's not an angry lamb. He's pretty happy to be here. Okay. All right. Maybe a little bit more dry brush here. And I prepared the canvas on this color because of gold leaf. I usually paint it in red, but this time I wanted to use some yellow ball for it. Okay. That's good. Now let's see if the eye is a little bit off. I don't No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to do a little bit of eye surgery here and remove this part. There we go. It's more like it. And this is our focal point, right? The eye. So that's a zone of high contrast. There. What about the ear? Is the ear too dark or not? I think the ear is okay. The shape is kind of, maybe needs to be a little bit more of a pointy ear here. Once I'm done with this and it dries, my next step after this, my underpainting is going to be gold leaf, and that's going to be in part 2. So I am going to do oil-based gold leaf. I've used the water. It's an oil size. I've used the water size, but I have a feeling that the oil is a little bit easier to manipulate than the water size. And I will explain that when on the part 2 of this video. I think I got this ear pretty close. This ear is pretty close. Okay. I know that in the video, this part looks so wide compared to this, which is so narrow. But remember that my canvas is a little bit on a perspective, so it looks kind of tight on this, but not in the canvas. I promise. Okay. All right, how about removing some of this here? Here. Here. Okay. Maybe we can get close to this edge here. Maybe it's more like this. Just a tiny bit. All right, I like the way it looks. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe I'm gonna emphasize this shadow just a tiny bit, so it feels more like a Terminator. Not the one from the movie, but where the light and the shadow meets. There. All right, let's have fun with some light now. Let's turn on the lights and let's use titanium white for the second part of this. I don't think it needs this shadow. I'm still maybe a 90% convinced. But so far I think it's good. How about this? There we go. Yeah. Now you'll notice that this is already dry to touch. So give it a few more minutes, and this will be ready for me to paint and do a second layer of. I can add color and texture, and I can work in pastel with my palette knife. So I just love this surface. I love the absorption. And for the gold leaf, I think it's gonna take the glue really well. Okay. Let's get some white going. So just pure titanium white. I have a little bit here, and again some turpentine. Where's my brightest brights? Probably around here. I always like to start with my focal point. Right. So I'm gonna imagine that this is all light, right? And as I am building this, I am giving shape to the eye here. Black and white picture works great for this simple subject. Now the fur is gonna be interesting, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun too. All right. So put less turpentine, more turpentine, depending on how bright you want your lights here. And I get right there to the terminator. Um, I love this beautiful rim light here. Love this. Okay. This is going to be a sharp edge sort of sorts when I put the gold leaf all around it. So I I like that it's gonna be this white. All right, let's get some white. Clean the brush. And clean this brush. I use these paper towels, these blue paper towels, a lot. They last me a long time. I prefer them to rags. Rags, even though that I have some here just to wipe brushes and stuff, they seems to be I seem to clean better with these paper towels, these blue paper towels that don't leave any trace on the canvas or filaments. I need a little more turpentine. And these are the two containers I'm using, one for oils and one for turpentine. It's the old fat over lean rule. So my first layer very lean, and this all the successful layers, they get more and more paint and more texture. Okay, I think this is fun, and we're turning on the lights, so this picture may be a little bit, might be too overblown here. So I will probably make it a little more subdued. Not pure white here. And you can see how I made a line here, and I can correct it. So my drawing, I could do this in charcoal too, and then if I do it in charcoal with bind charcoal and then spray it, it's a similar way of fixing your drawing, but then you can't erase it. If you make a mistake with charcoal, you can't just paint over it like I'm doing here. So here I'm just creating some type of a fur here. There. I love it. Okay, I know that the camera, this light is a little bit too strong, so let me see. Yeah. So it's not pure white. You can still see that you can see the color underneath, the yellow ochre almost color. You can still see it. So let's get it here. Which I think this is important too. So all this we can do it in 45 minutes. I could pick another painting and start working on it, or continue, take a break, and continue on another one. It's very efficient. This way of painting, and the painting will have several layers of color, and so this is by no means close to finish. Okay, maybe here, stuff going on here. Maybe some highlights here. There are some highlights. Maybe make this, emphasize this bone here. Okay. And let's put this touch of light here. And I'm gonna bring it all the way here. I'll make it more dramatic here than what's on the picture. So I think it's a nice touch here. Okay, a little bit more paint, a little more texture. Dry brush here. Dry brush. All right. And the last bit of paint is this highlight right at the top. Not, it's more of a fussy type of light. I don't want a very sharp edge right now. All right. All right, let me look at it here. Okay, I think I can go a bit darker here. Whoop. Maybe I can go a bit darker. As long as I don't get to the same tonality, I think it's fine. Let's make sure that that the hair, I follow the path of the hair or the fur. So my brush strokes are vertical in this sense. And all right, that's about it for now. That's part one of this lamb. In part two, I'm going to do everything, all the gold leaf. I will finish up on the side of the canvas, on the bottom. And then on part three, we'll get into color. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe. And see you on the next one.